It's a Monday podcast and I'm sitting. So it's a Monday and it's so weird not to have a mic because I feel like a mic puts you in a mood.
Yeah, I know.
That's really
this
weird.
Feels like more just like a conversation.
It's weird that a prop could change everything, but we're away and we've been talking to a few moms and it's really interesting because moms have everyone in a different phase. It's like you've lived that phase and you can't tell people how it's going to be. They just have to live it. And then you get hindsight and you're like, oh, I get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was just like recently when we were talking to someone who has younger kids or even about like getting married when you're younger and then you naturally mature, even if you don't have kids, obviously you mature and grow, but and I'm not saying this, I don't know what it's not like to not have kids, but there is something that happens to you in a maturity way when you become a mom because you see the world in a way that you had never seen it before. And it forces you to become more mature or become maybe more confident or less confident in yourself. But like,
I know.
Just consider so many more things than like outside of you, but for something that you love as much as you love yourself. But now it's another human. That's why it's like, would you have married the same person? We're still married to the same person, but who knows, like
who we would have married?
Or like how could I know who I'd be now and what I'd know now when I was so young?
You can't.
Right?
That's life.
It's life. But you know, when people are like, if you tell yourself, or what's your one regret? It's like, I hope that everybody can actually say, I don't have any regrets. I mean, unless you like killed somebody or like you were really mean to me.
But then you probably don't have regrets.
Yeah.
Because you were just like that.
But everything leads to the next thing. And if you didn't do that thing, then you're not going to get to that next thing. So, and in motherhood, it's so hard to realize that. But now that we've been doing it for a while, it's like even all the things we overcome with the kids changes us as well as people. We met with a doctor for the Screen Sense Guide on last week. I can't remember what week, because she's in the same space and kind of doing the same thing, but different because she's a doctor and she talks to other doctors and she sees parents regularly because she has a practice. And when I was talking to her, she has younger kids. Mm-hmm. So she has like a professional view and then a parental view. Mm-hmm. And the parenting view, like when I was a social worker, it's so much easier to work with other people's kids because it's not personal. So I thought parenthood would be so easy because it's like you have the skills to cope, to manage with how to talk to them, how to communicate with them. But it's so different when it's your kids because you're always talking to them. So it's not like a session. No. It's like a dialogue. But also on a very like comparable but serious level, a surgeon is not allowed to operate on their family or children because no matter how good of a surgeon you are, in that moment, you could make a mistake because
it's personal.
It's personal.
So when we were talking, and I think a lot of people, like as we're talking about hindsight and changes and you can't know, the weird thing is right now is that when you think about like how we're parenting in this age demographic, it's so, I can't think of another time other than smoking when people were living research. When there was no, research or data to pull on that could inform decisions and where a parenting group had gone through it and could be like, have advice on it because they lived it. It's like, there's so many things that you draw on as experience because
spankings.
Yeah, I would say spanking, but I would say
come a long way.
I'd say something physical that was introduced to you outside of what you do every day. Like that's like a value or like a thing, like a parenting technique, like gentle parenting, but something that is universally out of your hands, where like smoking was like a thing that just people could do at a very young age. And then they grew up and like, what the fuck? And then they had to go sue them because this was really bad for you. And you knew this.
Sometimes I feel that way about like, aspartame.
But I feel like that's still not conclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're living conclusivity. We have people suing suing social media giants.
Yeah, like Meta. Nice.
Suing like Snapchat.
Yeah.
And some platforms are doing something about it. Some are not doing anything about it. And I'm like, it's so crazy that as parents, I don't know how we keep up when it's moving so fast. Like it's something out of our hands. It'd be like cigarettes changing constantly and becoming a different form. And you having to be like, wait, is this kind of good for you or not good for you? But you need it. It's like riding a car every day and then them being like, actually, it's bad for you. And then the car changes, but you need it for transportation.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, sorry. And you're like, well, what do we actually do? It's so the doctor was basically saying, she's just like, it's really frustrating as a doctor because we know the effects. It's like parents don't conclusively know effects because you have no baseline for what your kid would have been if they hadn't been on social media or on a phone. We're pulling information because you would kind of need a control group who would never want on a phone in the exact same situation as people who did in order to have a full proper study.
And nobody in the world has shut down phones.
No, there might be a group who delays.
Yeah.
But like that have to be all technology. Like it can't just even be phones.
Still be a group that delays, but who knows like what the kid's actually consuming when they're not around the phone.
You almost have to have the exact same two types to like do the experiment. Like go on an island and one of them gets it and another group doesn't get it.
That's why like experimental research is so hard to do. And there's like, you can barely get like that many people to actually get a conclusive result.
So when she's sitting there and she's like, she has younger kids and we were all talking because it was our team and her, and it was like, as a group, we're all trying to figure out what to do. All like you and I are basically sit here and we're like, how can we help parents figure it out? Cause she's like, their habits are still happening and I don't know how to break them. She's like, I can tell them, but they're not doing it. And I was like, well, that's because we don't even know the parents can't fix habits they don't know that are going on.
No. And they also find it really overwhelming. It's like so much information, so much research. One person saying this, so much fear going into like the only time you really hear about people getting really concerned is after something bad happens.
And so sadly, our team, like one of our team members, like, it's like people don't want to get ahead of it. They want to react.
Yeah.
So when you hear, Roblox getting a full investigation and someone does an expose on it, had to take an expose and everyone's been being like, hey, for people to be like, oh shit, I should probably put something in on Roblox because Roblox is the one game I think really little kids do go on.
Yeah.
Like I would say that's the one thing that.
And I would also say that from a parent's perspective, when they look over their shoulder watching their kid play Roblox, they just see them playing a game.
And by the way, until we started to like deep dive, I thought Roblox was a game.
Yeah.
Like not a gaming platform where anybody can create a game and upload anything they want. There's millions of games on the app. So it's like a gaming app. It's like going on Xbox or PS or whatever. But you have to buy the games there. Here it's just, you just go buck wild and anyone can be a total weirdo and download and make whatever they want and they get a trending game and then it's gone. And I realized that, the one game Chloe used to play, they're like, it was like the number one grooming app. And I was like, I felt like an idiot. But then I'm like, okay, thank God I learned.
Yeah.
And I learned because of what we do, the common parent, but I had no idea. And I know no one else did. I don't think any parent could even name a game on Roblox. Could you?
No, I just know that like my kids were playing one and there was, a dad that we know was also playing with them and they liked playing with him because he was good at it. But like, I don't know what the game was. I just know he was in there too and they knew him from the game.
They're like, it's like Taxi Squad. And I'm like, or there's like Adopt Me. And I'm like, I'm like, are you talking to people? They're like, no one. And I'm like, but then they're like, guys, he's killing, he's running in, get him. And I'm like, clearly you're playing with other people.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
You are playing with other people, but there's a group of them. So it's fun.
And especially sometimes they're sitting with their friends, actually playing the game on the couch with them, but also with a lot of other people.
It's so weird. And again, some kids will be fine. Some kids won't be fine. But it's like you don't know until it's too late to know.
And you know what is also crazy is like so it'll come up in the news. Like, so remember when Dr.
I can't remember what her name was. She was like an Oprah doctor, and her son ended up getting drugs through Snapchat. And then everyone was like talking about Snapchat. And so immediately parents like, Snapchat's bad.
Yeah.
Your kid's going to die of an overdose.
Yeah.
And then like the movie Adolescence came out. It was a hot topic. It was on the late night shows. Everybody was talking about it. And then it kind of goes down. And it isn't until like, the bigger companies or the school boards actually finally get like involved or say something that the parents are like, okay, shit. But it's like, you need to be you need to be like now.
I feel like the problem is, I think the sneakiest thing about it is that because parents are on it, like we all have our own habits with phones. Our algorithms aren't the same, and how we use them aren't the same as how the how the kids use them. So for us and our perspective, it doesn't feel what it might feel like for them. But because we do it, it's like, well, I don't know how to put this. It's
we also didn't know what it felt like at that age to be doing it because we didn't have it.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what it feels like.
We only know what it feels like to be our age. And we don't know what it feels like to post something and really do care what people say about it, or like post something and then go check the comments a million times to see what people are saying about your post. And you don't know how many people go and look without commenting on your post about, and then share it with, or like show it to a friend. I don't know. It's just so fucking wild how.
I also think it's crazy how like, so many parents think that if they're to ask their kid to put in settings, it's almost like, I don't want to cross over the boundaries of them.
That is, they're like, oh, my kid would kill me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, sir, if they walked out of the house at 3 a.m. and you were like, no, would they kill you?
Yeah. And then the kids actually look at the parents and are like, hell no. Like even with it simple, like the simplest basic one is, Life 360, the tracking app.
Yeah.
And how many conversations you get with parents or even like young adults. And they're like, do you do that with your kids? Like, oh my gosh, do they let you?
I know.
And it's really so much more like everything about the conversation of being online is really about a relationship with your kids too, right? A lot of it is about a relationship, an open relationship with your kids, about making them understand, I'm not trying to like jail you. I'm not trying to put you in prison. I want to do this together, keep you safe. Because
if you sit down and talk to like with a group of teens, they will tell you how much they hate the chain to the apps. Like they'll actually talk about they don't like the feeling, but they don't have options. So they're like, there's no other way for us to do this right now. No one's teaching us how to do it differently. Someone's created the set of rules, and that rules are what they are. And the rules just get passed down. Like everyone.
And the rules are made up by
teenagers
online.
Like but it's how, like, if you have a phone, but you can't text because it's too personal to text.
Oh, yeah.
You would never, ever call a phone number, but you would snap phone call through an app. These are the rules that people have made where you're like this. It's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if someone calls you on that device, it's not more personal, but it is more personal.
And it's also, there's just like social etiquette, which is obviously going to be different than ours. Like I'll always be like, just text them. Like, well, no, I have to hit them up on Snapchat for them to answer. But that's because that's their platform. Like it makes sense that they have their own and it's not ours.
It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense, but it's also not logical when there's so much other shit on. Like good for Snapchat to be any company that can dominate a communication within messaging app when Apple has their own is pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
Like it's,
if you think
really
like
wild.
Older people, like, and some people are really good at talking on the phone. Okay. Like long, like catching up conversation.
Yes.
I am very bad at that. I like to text. So like, it's like the older people really good at talking. This generation, like us, a lot of texting. Like we can have a lot of conversations that aren't even that complicated because we've had the etiquette of texting for so long. And then they're on Snapchat, and then their kids will be on something else, it's just things have to be different because why would they ever want to be like us?
Yeah, I agree. They have to be different. I don't like, it's like I as a parent can't track you. They get mad, but the whole Snap world
can track you.
Yeah. And you want them to know where you are. And the amount of times the kids check their Snap maps to see where people are, it would hurt my brain. It would hurt
my brain to know where everybody is and to check them and to zoom in and
especially if you're having like an issue. Like, it's one thing if it's just like, it's just something you do. It's like, you know, it's like how somebody else just checks their emails, you know, they just check their location. But if you're feeling anything, and because it's one thing to check in, actually, I check sometimes the Snap Map to see, like, I have a few of the kids on there. I was like, where are they?
And I don't.
And,
because we can only be signed into Snap for like, not together.
oh, really?
Like if I go
I
in.
have my own. Natalie, I do.
Oh, okay. If I go into ours, I kick you out.
Yeah. But if you're having it of I want to know where that person is, or I want to know how long that person's there, and I want to see if those two people are together, which is a very normal teenager thing to do.
Yeah.
I would even say, like, oh my gosh, like if our generation was on like Snapchat for like affairs and stuff, and if he turned off his location and you'd be like, where are you? But then you see the woman that he works with and you have her on stuff, and you see her like,
I think I don't know when they grew out of Snapchat. And I don't know when you graduate from Snapchat, because I feel like their Snapchat is our Facebook, where you check in and you have like old pictures that come up for people and you're like, oh my God, they're doing this. What I don't like about Snapchat is that it is a cesspool of grossness and videos. Like, it runs like a TikTok. And I don't even think so many people know what Snapchat's like. But if you go on the videos at Snapchat, it's like you're watching like a Maury Povich show. If I was to equate it to something, it would be like one's like Facebook's like the Learning Channel, TLC, and the other one is just trashy. It's like the grossest of the grossed and full misogynistic like videos and women being demeaned. And it is.
I have that a lot on my Reels. But this is my algorithm, because I started to watch it and I was like, what the fuck is this? And
on Instagram.
Yeah, like, because I don't watch a lot of the videos.
Well, that's now coming over, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
They do. So everyone's like, oh, TikTok's so bad. This is so bad. I'm like, if you just go in, if you were to actually spend time on Snapchat, I don't even think parents know that there's
videos.
I don't think they know.
I wonder what they think a lot of people think Snapchat is.
I don't think they know.
Like a communication platform for friends, or what do you, is it to look where each other are, or what is it?
I don't.
It's a full content. Like, if you put it this way too, is like Snapchat's reach out to us because they're like,
there's TV shows on Snapchat.
Yeah.
There's shows on Snapchat.
Yeah. And they're like, you guys, there's such an opportunity for moms to be creating content on Snapchat for other moms. But I mean, for us, it's just really not.
That's not natural. It's not native. It doesn't feel
you
like.
Can't force. It's like asking a teenager to go start a Facebook channel.
So I was saying, like, Chloe will not get Snapchat. Like, there's not a chance she's going to get Snapchat for a very long time, because her age in that, I think a long time ago, it was a different platform. Everything was a different platform, and things have changed. And you don't know how they've changed, but there's no reason for all of those kids to have access to hidden messages. Like, at grade 5s, in a bunch of girls in grade 5 on that messaging app would be terrifying. You also can't unadd yourself. And then you're in, I mean, my kids have been added to huge groups. Like, I'm talking like a whole city. And they're like, why the hell am I on this? And then people are doing bad things. So like, get me off of this chat. I don't want to be on this. I don't want to see these things. Cause I'm like, if you are part of a group and something goes sideways, probably died. I didn't charge it. You're screwed. You know what I mean? So to have a grade 5 in that and make a comment or I'm like, hey,
it's like you want to protect your kid, but you want to protect your kid from somebody doing something to them, but you also want to protect your kid from themselves so that they don't make a mistake.
100%. And if you see the way some of them communicate online, it looks so rude. Like, it's like, no.
Oh, I just was rude this morning.
Oh, yeah. And I had to go back and check. Yeah, you were.
Good thing I'm related to him and he knows me.
That's why. I was like, no, but thank you. Yeah, but when you see some of their text messages, I'm like, this is so rude, because they don't have the conversational etiquette yet to be like, oh, I'm busy, but thank you so much. Like, it's like, no.
I've said things like I've said to like my kids, oh, what did you say back? And they said that. I'm like, that sounds really rude. And they're like, they know that it's not rude. They know it's like,
but parents don't.
No.
So when you pick up the phone and you're reading the text message from another kid, you're like,
and also always remember, kids, every single text, every snap could be coming up on the family computer, and it probably is. So whatever you say, the parents will probably have full access to it.
Don't you wonder how, I don't know who has Snapchat, like if your kids have Snapchat, I don't even know if parents know how, the amount of fucking, have you've watched your kids?
They're pretty amazing at it. I mean,
have you watched them operate?
That's how fast their brains work.
Open, close, hold it to see if they want to open it. No. And then go back and then swipe and then thing and then picture of an eye. And then it is like watching a chef and in the busiest time.
Yes.
It's like that guy. It's actually like watching.
It was like that guy. I like, there's this game that I started to play because I felt like it would be good for my brain and my eyes to move faster. And I was thinking that if my kids your son looked over my shoulder and said, what are you playing? And I was like, I bet I don't know about our boys, but I bet our girls would be amazing because it's like sorting groceries and like putting it together. I bet that I'd be so sure that they'd be so much better at it than me because they're so quick at looking at all the things. So I'm using it to get sharper.
If you watch someone use Snapchat, it's actually frightening how quickly they can move through that. That is...
And then you sit, and then the crazy, this is like an old conversation, but then you expect them to sit through like an hour and a half class of a teacher standing in front of them when their brains can move so much quicker. Like,
I know.
That is so hard that the education and the schooling doesn't keep up with the way that they're being raised.
Well, so the only thing on that is that they need to learn to sit and watch TV again. They used to say TV was bad. Now they're like, go back and watch an episode. Like if you,
I love how many teenagers, I can't believe like how many teenagers are watching like Modern Family and like Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
It's so nostalgic, but I think that our kids are feeling something that we felt that like it doesn't exist for them in TV shows. Because the TV shows now even are like,
nothing.
Like the kid TV shows are just, they're just YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the assignments for people is to go and teach them how to watch a show, like actually sit down and watch a whole show. And most kids can't do it.
Yes.
Most kids. And the reason they want you to go do that is because you actually learn storylines. So it's more, and you learn character building and you learn empathy, like so much more than you do on cell phones where remember they're like limit TVs.
Yep.
I do feel like limiting screens is different than limiting TV.
1 million. So I'm telling you right now, guys, don't be worried about your kids watching too much TV.
I know.
Because it's not going to happen.
No, I know.
You want
actually don't watch YouTube though.
No.
And don't watch TikTok Reels and don't watch Instagram Reels on the TV. Like if they're on the TV, make them watch the TV. Like take off all those apps.
Yeah.
When they start putting the apps on the thing and and I'm like this, get that off my TV.
Yeah.
Someone is yelling, screaming. The thing is going crazy. I'm like, this is not.
Yeah.
There's one show that's good on YouTube that Max watches. That's like.
I like a couple of them actually.
Their episodes are. They're like half an hour, like story.
And they know the characters and the family members and their challenges.
But the ones that are like
just yelling or, I remember back in the day, they used to watch Tucker used to watch someone play video games. And they would yell and they weren't really watching the game. They were watching the two video gamers talking to each other. But yeah, it's funny watching my youngest who doesn't have like as much access to like a phone. And even though he has a phone, I got him a phone number. He's never taken the phone out of the house. We're just not into it.
When they get into it, you don't want it never goes back.
Yeah.
They will get it.
I was like, when we just had a lockdown recently in our school, he's like, would you have been scared? And I said, what I would have wished is that you had a phone. In that moment, I'd wish that you had a phone. You don't have a phone. And I actually, because life is crazy. I want him to have a phone on him so he can call me if for any reason, like I don't show up or I'm not there, just cause, he's the youngest and life is busy and sometimes things happen. I'd like to be able to have access to him, but we haven't gotten into that routine yet, which is also great. But just to watch like movie nights and TV nights and how much more successful they are with the younger ones. And we used to do it all the time. And now if you sit there, you literally like, if we want them to actually focus on a show, we have to take out that black box and say like, put them in. And we don't force them to do it, but we're like, you're not going to be able to actually follow this if you don't put your phone away. Understandably, I need to put my phone there too.
Understandably.
Whenever I'm on my phone, I'm trying to watch a show and then something happens, I have to rewind so many times. I'm like, oh, that looked like an important part.
You know?
Yeah. If I'm on my phone, I miss a part. And so I've got to rewind and watch. But if you're just watching, then you don't miss a part.
It's good also to like
kind of be bored when you're watching TV.
Or you get way more into the show. Like you're never going to feel emotional about a movie if you're also on your phone. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
So like whenever I'm watching a show and I'm laser focused, I'm so in. I can't wait for the next episode. If I'm on my phone, I'm like, oh, I don't really remember what happened with that character. Maybe I'll watch it next week. It's like you have to get into the show to get into the show. And when you're in a show, it's so fun.
It's like a book.
Mm-hmm. It's like a book. Exactly. Yeah.
Same as a book.
Yeah.
And if you can get your kids to read at nighttime, I know. I have 2 of 3.
Yeah. I don't think it's conducive for your life. No, and I also think it's going to have to be something that they, as an adult, or like, did you read when you were young?
Yeah.
Oh,
but there was no TV for all summer.
Yeah, but I had book lists, but
I would have, it was like graphic, it was Archie's. It was graphic.
Okay, I read a lot of Archie.
But that is technically fucking reading.
But I feel like my kids are going to have to find a joie de vie, a joie de literature in reading. Coming from their natural self. So like, you know, people start to read books when they're older because they love like the kind of books that you read and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not have to come for them. It has not been instilled from me or our household. Taylor did read a book and she blasted through it and was like, that was so amazing. And she's like, it wasn't like a book though. I'm like, actually, that's what books are like. That's just the first one you actually
really liked.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's so many more like that.
If you guys are listening to this and you're like, okay, I relate to you on Snap. I didn't know. We do have a guide. And I know we talk about the guide a lot. And I'm trying to find ways to like give in sneak peeks, but it's like so in depth that it's so hard to explain because it's like a story. But the highest compliment came from a reader. One of Natalie's friends. And she was like, who wrote this? And we had a team and we did it. And then she was like, it's really well done.
It reads really well.
And I was like
on top of the information being really great and it being really simple to follow, it's got a really, it's a good read.
I think the biggest thing is though, because it gives you the reason why the phones are the way they are, because I think people just think like, just put your fucking phone down. But it's so much deeper than that because it's actually a lot harder to just put your phone down because of the way they're set up. So once you understand why, then settings make sense. It's like, oh, it was created so you don't leave it. Like it was created so when you hear the ding.
Yeah. Did you notice something that's changed on the phone recently that I never saw a report about it. I never saw anything about it, but I'm noticing it with my kids and me is like, there's a setting that you can put on so that it's not too close to your eyes. It's for myopia, but it's for your eye health. Recently they must have changed how far because I'm getting it and I never used to get it. I used to hold it I'm not getting closer. And I see my kids constantly pulling away now. So they must have increased
the distance,
but they never told anyone. Maybe it was an update. Like I could be wrong, but I'm seeing it happen to all my kids and me. So they must have made it, so it's further away. So that's just one setting that you just click it and your kids can't be like this. What a small thing. But like, if you don't know, you don't know.
And also they have now you get notification if the screen time password was entered.
Oh, that was a great one. And
that was new. And they didn't tell people about that. I don't know if people got that, but if you got our newsletter or the guide, you know that you now get like, they entered the screen time password at 4:09 and you're like, boom.
Did I also tell you? So we started to notice that my son was doing it. And I told you how my son was getting around screen time.
Did you put it back in?
For some reason he has to ask for it again. So it must not be working, but he changed the time zone. And if you I looked up how can kids,
but you can do it so that now you can do it so they don't change it. Like you get a notification, like you can put on, can't change
now
settings.
I see him having to ask, but I was
we have it on the guide too.
I said to my daughter, how is he, if I have all of these settings on, how's he getting past it? And then she's like, well, I know, but like, I don't want to be a rat. I don't want to tell you. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. But she wasn't being like sassy about it. She's like, I want you to find out, but I don't want to be the one to tell you. So I literally go into ChatGPT. If I have all the settings and all these things on my phone, how is somebody getting around it? And it was like, there was like 2 things. And one of them was change the time zone. And I looked at it, I go time zone. She's like, but not anymore.
Right. Because you can put a setting where they can't change things. And you can even do it so they can't add contacts.
Yeah, can't add contacts, and then guys
just can't contact people during certain times. So mine's shut. My little one is shut down. She can only contact like 5 people after 7 p.m.
And also, this is a very basic thing that we know that you guys are listening may not know, but the Screen Sense Guide can also tell you is when we were talking about video games, there is settings that people that aren't their friends or maybe anyone can't contact them unless they're personal friends.
The hard thing is, I think for a lot of parents, and then I know we have to go because this is so long, is that within each app, there's different settings. And then so there's the phone settings and then there's the app settings within each freaking app. And then so you have to, we have it all in there, but you have to go through each app and redo it.
We make it simple.
Yes, we do. But for a parent, you're like, oh my God, now I have to go here. Oh my God. Now, but if you just sit down and like do like little bits at a time, or you can do it all at once. The hard thing is with the apps, you have to go on their phone to do it. So one you can do from your phone and control all of their phones,
which is a great start. Even if you just do a little bit, it's better than nothing.
And you can do sensitive content. You can do all of those things. And it does really make them,
but if you think about
even if you go on the 18 plus, like toggle for the websites. I know there's workarounds. There's just some little things you guys can do that makes it just a little bit safer in the cesspool of the world.
And at the end of the day, like, parenting is a job. And you put a lot of really important things that were important before into raising them. But this is a really important one too. And you need to do a little work. Sometimes you need to do a little work.
Sometimes you got to parent a little harder than others. Kate, this Monday, if you want to get the Screen Sense Guide, go to thecommonparent.com. And
we can also link it in the bottom of this podcast. So you guys can just go and get it. And it's really inexpensive. And why does it cost money? Because it took a lot of investment, time, and research.
So a frickin' team who still runs it. And I'm like, do you want to work for free? She's like, no. I'm like, exactly. Do you want to work for free? No, no one wants to work for free. I mean, it's just the way it goes.